What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today we're going to be taking a look at two new variations of the Oknife U1 Ultra. Up first we have the Zombie Pink, really fun new colorway, and then of course we have the classic Zombie Green that they've done on a ton of their different products now. Now on the surface it looks like these are two different colors of the same exact knife. They are actually different materials though, and so the price is going to reflect that. They're pretty comparable honestly, but there is a slight difference in price. So our Zombie Green is 6061 aluminum, and that has an anodized finish, so still has that kind of cool feel of metal to it. MSRP on this one is $54.99. The Zombie Pink, on the other hand, is in their OAL or O aluminum, and that's a patented Olight Oknife material that's a little bit stronger than your standard aluminum, and this has a ceramic paint finish, and so still has the firmness that you'd expect from the metal handles, but not quite as cool feeling on the hand. It has that smoother finish, and so some actually may prefer this finish over that 6061 aluminum. It should be more durable as well, and this one comes in at an MSRP of $59.99, so about $5 more than the Zombie Green. Now they are having a launch sale for these for 20% off, which I think brings the price down to $47.99. I'll make sure to link to where you can find that sale down in the description of the video. This is separate from the current Olight sale that's going on. Wasn't able to find these configurations on the Olight website. These seem to be only available online, shipped directly from Oknife. And so again, I'll link to where you can find that down in the description of the video. They have some other sales going on. I believe these are going through December 1st, so I have a couple of weeks there to pick these up, although they may sell out before then, of course. Now on to the knives themselves. We've only ever taken a look at the original U1 on the channel, and so that one had a crossbar style lock, but that's not really the only difference. They've kind of redesigned the handles a little bit. The other one had a lanyard slot down here in the back. This one obviously just has that post there, but the also big change from the crossbar is to that button lock, which you can also use for deployment. You could of course use the crossbar style lock for deployment as well. The U1 original version only had thumb studs for your deployment method, and then obviously that crossbar style lock, which you can use, but isn't a dedicated deployment method. This one also has a flipper tab here, as you can see, so super snappy action out of that as well, making this one a lot of fun to fidget with. Gives you a few different ways to deploy it. I'm not really one to utilize a button lock for deployment, but it's nice that it's there as well for those that do like that. And no button stick to speak of on either of these right out of the box, so super smooth action for both. And then as far as the knife itself goes, I love the sizing on these. Now they're about 5.74 inches in overall length, but in that close position we're looking at about 3.38 inches. It's a little over an inch wide, so they're very compact, but you get plenty of edge on here. And that's another thing that's cool about this U1 design from Oknife, is that so much of that utility blade is exposed. You're getting about 85% or more of that blade exposed, which equals out to about 2 inches. A lot of them, they'll kind of cover most of it, and you get a little bit under half of that blade exposed, sometimes even about a third of that blade exposed. So you get a lot more cutting edge out of here. One other thing you may have noticed was that ceramic blade on our Zombie Pink. Now both of them actually ship with the black blade installed. I swapped it to the white ceramic blade just because I thought it matched better with the silver hardware and the lighter pink color of this one. Obviously this one has the black hardware, so I left that black blade, but this is actually ceramic as well, and so that's kind of a cool thing. If you've never used a ceramic blade, I would definitely give it a shot. These tear through cardboard, they hold a great edge, and just overall are really solid. They are going to be a little bit more brittle than your steel options, but these will take steel blades as well, so if you want to swap them out you can. I would say go through the life cycle of these ceramic blades so they don't go to waste, and then at the end of it, if you're still not convinced that ceramic is the way to go, switch over to those steel blades. But love that they come with the ceramic blades. Obviously that black match as well, and again both of them come installed with the black. You get a little case with the white ceramic blade here, which we have here, as well as a blade removal tool. And so this is actually a little bit of a multi-tool. You can see we have that pry edge, a bottle opener, but here we have this kind of grippy surface that you can put in here and then slide it into place, so you can tighten that a little bit tighter than you would be able to do by hand, which makes it so it's not so removable by hand either. But the benefit of that is that it's going to be a lot tighter. You don't have to worry about that screw falling off on you while you're using it. but also it eliminates any blade play whatsoever. So these blades are super solid in here. You're not going to have any rattle or anything like that. And so it just keeps them nice and secure in there without any play, and also not having to worry about that screw backing out on you while in use. It just tightens it down a lot tighter than you can tighten it by hand. So that's great. So 3.38 inches on the handle. For me, that's about a 3-finger grip, obviously keeping me behind that flipper tab. Limits me to about 3 fingers, but that's really plenty. And a lot of the times you're making utility cuts with these utility blades, so I'm kind of pinching it in this position where I'm able to get all my fingers on there with my index kind of right behind that tip, able to get those kind of shallow slices on top of tape and stuff so you're not damaging the contents of packaging, which is a majority of what I use utility blades for anyways, breaking down boxes, opening packages, and things like that. Now, in terms of weight, the material doesn't make that much of a difference. The 6061 is slightly lighter. This is weights with the blades installed. I weighed this one in at 2.00 ounces. Now the OAL, which is a little bit more durable, doesn't weigh significantly more. This one with the blade installed weighed in at 2.06 ounces. So a difference of 0.06 ounces is negligible. Really can't tell the difference in hand. They feel identical here. Ergo's on here though, again, super solid, and a lot of different deployment methods that just work really well. We have that snappy action from our flipper tab. We have our button lock. Again, not my favorite way to open it, but for those that do like opening it with the button lock, you have that option. No stick on that button lock, super smooth action. You can see that just drops. Then of course we still have our thumb stud, so if you prefer thumb studs, we have that there as well. There's also a little bit of jimping here on the back of the knife. If you are kind of keeping back in the standard grip rather than that utility grip, you can utilize that. It would have been kind of cool to see some jimping around our blade change screw, and so you have that for your index finger as well, but overall super solid. Another thing that I really like, not in the standard grip as much, but again in that utility grip, is that we have some jimping back here on the handle, and that gives you a little bit more of a secure grip as well. So really nice ergos on this one. Love the new colors, super fun. This zombie pink doesn't exactly scream zombie, even though it has that kind of same splatter pattern, almost like a cyberpunk-esque look to it as well. The white ceramic blade matches really nice with it, but really dig the look of both of these, and they're available. Again, that sale's going through December 1st. They may be available after that as well, obviously, if they still have them in stock, but they will go back up to their normal full price. So I'll link to that down in the description. I may do a community post or maybe even an update video. They have some other items going on sale that I actually have. This is all that they sent over for this sale, but I do have some of those other items that are going on sale a little bit later during that time period. And so I'll either update that with a community post linking to the original video, or maybe I'll do an update video. It just kind of depends on what my schedule looks like. Right now it's looking pretty full, so it'll probably be in the community post, but again, I'll link to where to find that when the time comes as well. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of these two down in the comments. If you plan on picking one up, which version you're going to go with, or maybe you already have one, which version you have. Either way, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, checking out some other content. All helps the channel out a ton, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.